What's cracking, traders? XehrFelrose here, bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle League content. Today's video, we're taking a look at that thing that nobody wants to look at, but we all have to see it in action at least once to be able to know how to play against it, right? Zygarde Complete in the Ultra League has been a definite pain point for many trainers, including myself, over the last year and some since its release. Yeah, it's incredibly bulky and is obnoxious and has a now speedy charge move pacing with Dragon Tail's rework, having Crunch and Earthquake, pretty good coverage for the overall meta at the moment. This trainer, as Chiefs, is a trainer that I've known for quite some time, and if there's anybody that I would go to for actual, like, knowledgeable Zygarde gameplay, it's him. He's actually made legend with Zygarde and some other Pokemon alongside it for the last several seasons. I know you might say, well, because Zygarde's a skillless Pokemon, and you're probably right. But either way, though, it's still good to see this thing in action here in the Ultra League. And so we're going to be pairing it up today with a double steel line of a Tinkaton and a Shadow Steelix, which is rocking Thunderfang rather than the newly buffed Dragon Tail, probably to be able to deal with things like Lapras and other things that might cause Zygarde some headache. I can see this team being very strong in the back to Togekiss, so if you can bait it out, get that out of the way for the Tinkaton to sweep. Let's get into the games here. And Chiefs letting loose the Zygarde, and this target is acquired. Oh, dude, you know what? No. You all might hate Zygarde. Okay, you might hate Zygarde, but I hate that stupid belly of the bolt even more, okay? So we lock that down, easy peasy, and we're running Breaking Swipe as well on the Steelix. Perhaps the Chiefs just said, I'm not bothering to TM. I'll take the debuffs where I can get them. Yeah, we're going in with the Thunderfang Steelix now into this Lapras, and the opponent's going to be able to chip quite a decent amount of HP here with those Sparkling Arias, but the Chiefs is going to go for a shield play first and then lessen the damage of the Sparkling Aria. It might not do half now. Yep. Now you're going to be able to survive two and then some, forcing the opponents to go for a third move, rather than had there not been a debuff, we actually would not have been able to take two, or just barely take two. So now, as Chiefs is looking for the farm down with this Thunderfang Steelix, and he gets it. Down a shield, but man, the bulk on this team is unreal. Going to go for the Breaking Swipe on this Primate that is now swapped in, hoping to maybe get to two moves. No way. There's no way, dude. No. Nope. The Karate Chop still do way too much to the Steelix, but now Tinkaton can come in, and we have good matchups all over the board against Belly Bolt. This team, if you want to hunt Belly Bolt, here's the team for you. Also, just realized that's a 2440 CP tank, so trainer, you got to finish your tanky. Going for the Bulldoze, the opponent falls for the bait here. Unfortunately for them, that pretty much brings this battle to an end, because Zygarde going to be able to get the Earthquake off if it needs to, but the opponent's going to go in with the Belly Bolt. Now they're going to have a very, very bad day. Bro, it's already at an Earthquake! Why did they buff this thing? This is the most unnecessary... This is great, dude! Oh, man, how long does this opponent want to suffer, dude? Oh, no! Trainer! Triple resistance! Oh! Belly Bolt's damage is triple resisted. It's healing the Zygarde at this point. Thankfully, it has Sucker Punch to be able to do something, but the Zygarde's going to be able to easily just keep farming its face off. Until we get to this Earthquake, the opponent gonna get, you know what, just because I can. I put that button at the ready. I didn't even think I was going to use it today after I saw this team, dude. But nope. Earthquakes are getting booms out here, and Tinkaton made the opponent close their head. Bro, this team is disgusting. If you're a meta slave, this is a team, dude. This is there's another Belly Bolt. Let's go, dude. This isn't the same game, is it? No. No, it's definitely not. The opponent's in shambles. Zygarde has them absolutely foiled, dude. In comes a Corviknight, okay. And then in comes Steelix with the Thunderfangs. Oh, dude. Rank 19 is, like, considered pretty high, too. Like, these are meta teams we're playing against, and this double steel line is just so far, it is just making people sad, okay? And I don't have a Zygarde for Ultra League, because I foolishly maxed mine out for the Master League, which hopefully now it's better, now that it's been reworked, because all that investment, I feel like I'm gonna need it. I need it to pay off, man, because so far the Zygarde has been something that I invested resources in, and then I stashed it in my closet after making like 1 or 2 videos out of it, and I'm like, I don't want to touch this thing anymore. I'm going to need a shower after I finish this Shoutcast, trainers. I hope you know this. Going for the Earthquake. Do we connect? The opponent fully respecting it, but hey, Zygarde's back, and guess what? It resists all this damage and gets to 2 Earthquakes in no time. Oh, I'm so sorry to all the opponents that are in the Zygarde's way. That's just not nice. That's not even nice. Oh, there's a Belly Bolt still. I forgot about Belly Bolt. Trainer, why are we playing this out? Why are we playing this out? Trainer, please hit the top left button. You can collect the research another time. You're going to be here for a week, Trainer. This game is going to take forever. Ticketon is going to be going for the play rough here. Going to be trying to end this quickly. The opponent has no HP left on any of their Pokemon. We're going to be able to fire off a Bulldoze if the opponent lives these Fairy Winds, which they do not. We're going to take that game. Well played. Okay, this is a little bit more. This is a little bit more interesting. Okay, that is a Fortress. The opponent going to be going for energy here, and if they're going to throw the Rock Tomb, that's. Surely they had another move that wasn't resisted. Like, dude, Zygarde already has no attack anyway. So lowering it really doesn't do much for us here. Gonna be looking to swap right into this Steelix to try and bait out a potential Mud Slapper, or even just really anything that is anti-steel at this point. Steelix is very good at luring those out. The opponent gonna be going for the Water Pulse. That nearly knocks out the Steelix, which is already CMP tied with the Earthquake. Gonna be looking to let loose a bunch of damage. Shadow Steelix connects with the Earthquake, and guess what? Zygarde's coming in to take Water Pulses. Isn't this interesting? Isn't this so fun? All right, Zygarde's gonna... I love that this trainer's one of my buddies, man. I'm dogging on him out of love, but like, God, we all have to suffer through it once, okay? We all have to suffer. I haven't... Somebody may have put a video out on it already. I don't know, but I haven't seen one yet. You're all suffering with me. We're all having a great time together. Hope you're having a great day. Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Ticketon's looking to go for a risky bait in the Bulldoze. The opponent's going to respect the player rough damage. No deep. Did they not get a debuff, bro? I've always seen a debuff on. Wasn't it like a 90% chance or something on Bulldoze? Like I see it every time it lands. The opponent, however, going to have to rely on a catch in this matchup. A play rough is going to do heavy damage to this opponent's Dusknoir. And honestly, Zygarde also has a Crunch, I believe, loaded. So we can throw that if that is still present on the Zygarde. Going to be going for some energy here. The opponent nearly getting that farm down. Going for the play rough. It's a CMP tie. And Ashleafs is going to put up the shield here to protect the Ticketon from mortal danger. And we're going to land this play rough, and we can immediately switch back into the Zygarde and try to use the energy for whatever's back there. The opponent going to have to come in and get taken out by this Earthquake Fortress. Going for the Earthquake. No! No! Zygarde, you couldn't outbulk that thing? Ticketon comes back in trying to make a difference, but the opponent's going to get the farm down. These double resisted bug bites are going through this thing's health bar. Can we get the Bulldoze through? No way that's ever enough, but the opponent going to play this out as we are... I mean, hey... The opponent plays that out because they win, right? We should top left it though. Oh boy! It's the Zygarde mirror! Oh boy! Now, which one of them is running Earthquake, or which one of them is running Outrage? Oh, the opponent tries to catch on a Fortress, and Zygarde says you're going to catch these hands. Going for the Earthquake, not debuffed at all, and in comes the Steelix, doing extremely well in this matchup. If the opponent, no matter the fast move, just because it's such a good... Just Thunderfangs add up so quickly. This is a good matchup for the Steelix, being able to resist most everything. The opponent full sends an Earthquake, but guess what, Trainer? That's not enough, unfortunately. And Ashleafs will not be denied. Going for this breaking swipe. This is a Shadow Steelix on a Shadow Fortress. Or not a Shadow Fortress. It's still not enough! How? I thought that would be enough, dude. This thing is... Dude. Steelix, you're a wet noodle. I don't care if you're a Shadow or not. You're a wet noodle, buddy. But the breaking swipe connects, and... Oh my goodness, wait. Is it going to get you another move? Wait. No! Zygarde gets the resisted farm down, and if it does indeed have the Outrage, that's a problem. The opponent now on their own Thunderfang Steelix, very similar teams here, but Ticketon's looking really nice in the back against this opponent Zygarde, unless they're running Earthquake and we end up down shields. We're going to have to keep that in mind here as we progress into this endgame. The opponent probably not running Breaking Swipe. Most trainers aren't. I feel like Ashleafs just said, I'm not going to bother TMing this thing. Never mind, this trainer's on breaking. I guess PV Poke does have it on breaking swipe is the best other move for Steelix. I guess that makes sense with how relevant the dragons are now. The opponent is going to go ahead and protect shield that earthquake correctly. Ash Chiefs is not a man who's known to bait here, going for the full send every time, all the time, but they're doing no damage with these moves. Now the opponent going to have to take this earthquake, although the breaking swipe debuff I believe has been applied twice to the Zygarde. It's still going strong, doesn't need very much here. Opponent's going to have to deal with the Stinkaton now as they're going to go for what could be an earthquake. As Chiefs has a call to make, he's going to let this go. It's a Psychic Fangs. What a call. No, probably I would assume that he knew that that thing did not have enough energy, because that was an earthquake coming from the Zygarde getting shielded. That was I don't know if that was enough energy, I'm going to be honest with y'all, but correctly shielding the earthquake here is massive. Tinkaton's going to be able to knock out nearly with this play rough. Almost, dude. It's so bulky. It's not enough. It's a super effective play rough. Are you kidding me? The opponent at the other earthquake, She's correctly saving both those shields just for this reason, and now we're going to be able to go for the bulldozers here. The opponent's energy is completely resisted. Steelix, unfortunately, is not going to be able to stand up to Tinkaton and its mighty hammer in this matchup. The opponent going for a final Hail Mary charge attack, but we know it's not the earthquake. Psychic Fangs does minimal damage here, and the opponent's just going to get farmed down in 5. Oh, he does him a mercy and throws the charge move. I almost would have just farmed it all the way down to save some time there, but that's okay. We're going to see the Bulldoze knock out the Steelix, and that's a good game. Well played. Sitting up now at rank 20, it looks like Zygarde into Weezing. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Time to get out of there. Weezing going to stay and maybe try and throw that overheat if the opponent wants to try and play that game. As Sheev's looking to maybe respect it. Do we respect the overheat? No, we don't. It's a brutal swing. Trainer, don't bait in this house. And now they're going straight for another brutal swing. They are now misaligning the switch timers quite nicely here, which is really good for the Zygarde, not having to worry about being aligned to this Weezing anymore. The opponent either critically weak to the Steelix in the back, or they just don't have an answer for it, which... They either had an answer for the Zygarde or they're critically weak to the Steelix. The opponent, however, does indeed have an answer to the Zygarde, but we have the answer in Tinkaton. The opponent's going for the Aura Sphere. As Chiefs is going to be looking to bank that energy, go for a guaranteed debuff on the breaking swipe. This is a cold, calculated play from a Steelix trainer. Going for the double resisted breaking swipe just to debuff the Togekiss so that it feels like it needs to. Never mind, he's going to go for a double shielded farm down. This trainer is absolutely knowing his matchups right now and maybe going to catch the move on Tinkaton. And Tinkaton is happy to take this double debuffed Aura Sphere nicely here. Not going to do very much damage. The opponent immediately concedes upon seeing the Tinkaton. And that's a good game. Runerigus in the next game, a Pokemon that I am very high on this season. I like it a lot. Very neutral player into this meta. And we have Crunch for that. We have a Crunch for that. Opponent would have gotten to the Shadow Ball here just before we got to this Crunch, but maybe was looking to just try to apply the damage after the fact. Gonna go for the Shadow Ball. This Zygarde's just gonna shrug this off, man. Unfortunately, it's a superior legendary ground type in Zygarde, being able to fire off these Crunches so quickly now with the increased energy from Dragon Tail. The opponent now gonna try to go for one final charge attack as they get that defense drop off the Crunch, trying to go for the Shadow Ball. This doesn't matter, dude. Zygarde just lives that. And that surely has to be their only answer for the steals. And now we're going to see the opponent's Togekiss farm down the Zygarde, and in comes Belly of the Bolt, and it's on Thundershock! And we have a Steelix for that, and the Togekiss, and the opponent immediately says, get me out of here. Now we have our Elo in the 2100s at ace rank. And it's Dragon on Dragon violence in the next game. We got Regidrago up against the Zygarde. Zygarde's opting to get out of that matchup, and the opponent's going to drop in a Blastoise. That's a dangerous thing to do, trainer. Steelix is double resisting, I believe, these rollouts and going to be able to survive a charge attack from the Blastoise. Could survive two if we went to the debuffs. I wonder if he could survive two. Earthquake is going to nearly knock out the Blastoise. The Thunderfangs will finish the job. The opponent not able to really do much in there. Oh, this brings me great joy and satisfaction to know that this Belly Bolt, alongside all the others in this video, have met their demise at the hands of this whole team. However, the opponent does have these sucker punches, and they're going to be able to fully farm down, and Zygarde just comes in and laughs. Throw your energy, trainer. Do something about it. Zygarde, just the biggest damage sponge here, and immediately the opponent brings in the Regidrago. Tinkaton says, hello, how are you? The opponent's going to try to throw a charge attack. Surely this is not a Fire Blast. Regidrago, dude. Oh, they have Breaking Swipe on this one. Trainers, by the way, if you are running Regidrago in this new format, prefers to have Dragon Energy and prefers to have Hyper Beam now. Breaking Swipe just unfortunately is a little bit too expensive for the amount of damage and the results that it gives. Obviously, you can run it if you want. If you want the debuffs, that's always okay. Opponent looking to try and make a 2-shield, potentially make a catch here. No, they're going to be going for another move. This Tank-a-Tough is just sitting there and just shrugging it off. And in comes the Zygarde, man. Like, Trainer, why haven't we top lefted yet? I'm sorry. I understand wanting to try and fight for a win, but no. This is not the one. Trainer, this is not the one. The Earthquake connects, knocks out the belly of the Bolt, and that's a 2-shield flex as the opponent is just going to go for the Dragon Energy, and Zygarde could just be like, Zygarde probably lives this. I thought it might. I genuinely thought it might. Oh. I'm sorry to these opponents, man. This is rough. All right, so a slightly more interesting lead here. Steelix is going to come in and try to safe switch into this Kyurem. The opponent can go for the Glaciate here, and unfortunately for Steelix, it gets vastly outpaced in this matchup, and Kyurem is very happy to just stay here if it needs to, but the opponent going to drop in their Armored Mewtwo, another buffed Pokemon here that is going to be having increased pacing in this matchup as well as the entire season. Going to be able to get to those dynamic punches pretty quickly. Now let's see if that's going to matter here. Does Steelix succumb to the dynamic punch, or do we live this? The opponent... Oh, you get a little Thunderfang damage in there. I'm surprised Steelix lived that, to be honest. Zygarde's going to come in now looking to completely absorb all this energy and land a crunch to dispatch of the Mewtwo, and then let this wonderful Tinkaton core with Zygarde that has been working so well today just continue to do what it does best and make people very sad. If there's a Belly Bolt back there, say something. We'll rescue you. We'll try and let you escape from the clutches of the Zygarde. Okay, the opponent's coming back in with the Kyurem. In comes the Tinkaton to immediately negate all of the energy of this thing. Glaciate will be a resisted move here. We're just going to drop the attack of the Tinkaton. The opponent now comes in with a call. Anything but that, man. Corviknight being one of the top meta Pokemon, being ranked number 1, I believe, currently in the Ultra League. With the recent addition of Air Cutter to its moveset, this thing's an absolute menace. Ashifs is looking to try and play this out, though, not giving up until the buzzer's gone. Air Cutters are not doing much here, but the opponent really doesn't have a whole lot of options. They are running out indeed, but so is Ashifs. These Pokemon are not doing too good, not looking too healthy. The opponent going to be shielding up that crunch. In comes the Kyurem. Kyurem's going to be able to farm down, and it's just unfortunately curtains for this Tinkaton in the back, as even the mighty Kyurem, who is... I mean, the mighty Tinkaton, I should say, that should be able to hard counter this thing. Unfortunately... Not going to be able to cut it in this matchup. Going to have to tank this Glaciate. We're going to shield. Nah, I think Ashifs knows it's over. It's all over. Just top left, Trainer. We're good here. We're done. We're done. They're gonna drop your attack like 6 times. Trainer, get out. Okay. All right. Okay. But the unfortunate thing here is that the sand attacks are just going to continue to add up. Take it on. You can top left now. There you go. Okay. Good game. 21-17. That's a pretty respectable starting point. That's pretty good. All right, Corviknight back in this game, but Zygarde's looking to take some vengeance on that last one. Didn't feel too good about it. Do 4 Dragon Tails to a crunch. That's astounding. 4. That's 12 turns to a crunch, man. That is little less than necessary, if you might ask me. Crunch. Going to be doing only neutral damage. This is a very bad matchup overall for the Zygarde here. But fortunately for the Zygarde, it does have the ability to hit for neutral with these crunches, and maybe even the debuffs start to help add up over time. We're going to be seeing the Zygarde look to continue to just fire off these crunches, and I would not be surprised to see a swap into the Steelix here to try and snipe down this energy if the opponent's running payback here. There goes the Steelix into the Corviknight, and Steelix looking to get a nice Thunderfang farm down here. Shocking, isn't it, trainers? The opponent going to go for the payback. That's not going to do too much because Steelix is incredibly bulky, and the opponent comes in with Dragalge, and it's on acid. Acid's going to be doing double resisted damage here, but looks like Steelix is going to try to put up a shield here to try and go for this breaking swipe, dealing some super effective damage, but it's not much. Honestly, wonder if it might have been more worth it to just go for the Earthquake here, but I assume Ashif's maybe wasn't sure of the counts of Acid on this Dragalge. The opponent going to be going for another move, and Tinkaton's going to swap in to try and make something of itself here in this matchup. Opponent Aqua Tail not doing very much damage here, and Tinkaton's going to start farming up energy. The opponent comes back in with that Corviknight. Corviknight's energy is all resisted. The opponent trying to reset the debuff on the Dragalge, maybe line something up afterwards. The Corviknight just gonna go ahead and just do what it can. Chop a couple air cutters out of its wings and drop down to the ground back to its Pokeball to take a rest. But it's gonna be dropping in that. Dragalge is coming back in here. Now it's going to come down to, do we go for super effective Bulldoze, or we just go and hit with that Play Rough? The opponent going to be going for the additional acid damage here. It's only single resisted on the Tinkaton here, but Bulldozes are going to start adding up, and then we're just going to go straight for the Play Rough. Play Rough does a lot more damage than Bulldoze. I like this. Go for one, then go for the heavier hitting move. The opponent might think that this is indeed going to be that Bulldoze, but they are wrong. The opponent going to let that move through, and they're down dangerously low on HP. What's going to be in the back? The opponent bringing in the Kingdra. Kingdra is not going to have a good time against Steelix because most trainers have opted to remove Octazooka. It's only water-type charge attack or Swift. And honestly, I think that there is a case to be made for Octazooka in this meta. I really do. I personally tried it with Swift because that was the new thing, and I wanted to make a video about the new thing because most people like to see what we're working with when it comes to move updates. But, you know, there's also, you know, stick with the old, man. Octazooka's a fine move, and you get to it even quicker now, and we're going to see a Greninja in the lead the next game. And I don't really know how we're going to handle this. This is a really awkward matchup. The opponent outpaces and outdamages Zygarde to quite a blistering degree here, to the point where we might even see a shield from the Zygarde come down. The opponent going to drop in Weezing. Trainer, we have Earthquake. Earthquake going to be reached here on the Zygarde. Going to full send it. The opponent going to let that through, and Steelix is going to come in. The opponent immediately says, "Get me out of this swamp." You know, I'm almost having fun with the Zygarde Shoutcast trainers. Can you believe it? Zygarde's going to come in on the next game here against the Mewtwo, and it has that crunch damage that it paces to very quickly. The opponent going to immediately drop out into the... By the way, trainers, this is why we do not safe switch a Guzzlord, because fairies exist in this Ultra League meta, and they will destroy your Guzzlord absolutely without mercy. Please either close with the Guzzlord and safe swap something that will draw out the fairy that's a little bit more safe and not completely destroyed by the fairy typing, or lead it and have some dynamic stuff in the back. There is something to be said here. You see how much energy that this Tinkaton gets to come out with? That is the reason why it's not good to safe swap something that's got that double weakness unless there's a very good reason for it. Like in some metas, things like Forretress might be safe enough to safe switch, but the thing is that Guzzlord has a very inflexible moveset against a couple of very specific and very popular types. That's why I think it's not a good safe switch, personally, but if you want to, you're more than welcome. That's just my opinion. Play Rough is going to be able to do a lot of damage here, nearly ending this matchup. The opponent going to be looking for the farm down. No, they're going to go ahead and toss a move here. The opponent maybe gets the first shield. No, Ashif's is going to let that go, and Zygarde comes back in, and all that happened here is it's gained a shield advantage over this Mewtwo, and the opponent's lost about half their HP bar. Psystrike is not going to do a whole lot here. The opponent's going to come in with Drapion. Oh, they shield! That's okay, trainer. We have a Steelix with Earthquake for you instead. Oh, it's diabolical, dude. What is happening? Yes, throw your pitiful crunches. Oh my goodness, Earthquake is reached, and the opponent's not going to be able to withstand this Earthquake. I'm getting the button ready for this one, yes sir. By Drapion, in comes the Mewtwo, and unfortunately everything here has come to a close for the opponent in this final match of the video. Steelix is not shielding a thing. In comes Zygarde, it doesn't have to shield a thing, and this stupid bulky team, bro, he's just farming it all the way down. Don't shield, don't do it, don't do it. You end this on a 2-shield flex. Yes! Ashif's going for the 2-shield flex, you bad manners man. Oh my god, dude, I need a shower after this. This team is super sweaty, and if you're a meta tryhard, and that's not always a bad thing, if you enjoy playing the bulky meta stuff, this is a team. This is a team, and it's crushing souls, man. Oh my lord. Oh, I need a rest after that. That was ridiculous, man. Let me know in the comments if you have your Zygarde even built at all, or if it's for Ultra or Master League. Hopefully we get a new one soon with Legends EA coming out. I would like to have an Ultra League Zygarde because I would like to be able to do these kinds of things to belly bolts that shouldn't be spoken of on a public website where you can find videos of just about anything. That stuff's got to be like rating locked or something. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I appreciate you very, very much. If you're watching, chatting in my live streams, subscribe to the channel, please, if you enjoy the content. And if you'd like to take your subscription to the next level, we do have membership options to get in my Discord and some other cool perks as well, especially if you're interested in getting coaching. We do have that stuff down in the pinned comment and description below. Let me know in the comments about your Zygarde. I really hope we get another one soon because I am sad that I don't have this thing in Ultra League. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to use it, but I just want to have it just in case it works good in a team. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm talking too much. Bye.